Hi everyone, and welcome to After the Final Set. My name is Luke, and I just wanted to share some of my thoughts after I train, which I do quite regularly these days. Don't get me wrong, I'm definitely not training to be an elite athlete. I mean, you guys can already see that, to be honest. I mean, that's the benefit of having a video podcast instead of an audio one. I can't really fake it. I'm just training because I enjoy how it makes me feel. Definitely don't do it to be competitive, just do it for myself. And after a training session, I feel that I get very reflective. It could be because I'm feeling very fatigued at the same time, but nevertheless, I thought I would share some of my thoughts after a gym session, as I think it might be something that might be helpful for some people. And if not, then I don't know, keep scrolling, who knows. Anyway, just today, as I was training, I just noticed that I train really quite often. So I train, like I said, 4 to 5 times a week, and I start to ask myself, why do I train 4 to 5 times in a week? I realize that when I wake up, probably like most of you, I have a tendency to procrastinate. Basically, I start to think about all the things that I need to get done in my day, and there's this feeling in my head after a certain amount of topics that I need to get done. So if it's 2 or 3, it's not so bad, but if it's more than, say, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 or more, I tend to just not get any of them done. And then I realized that if I know that I have to train and that I have to schedule that into my day, it doesn't have to be in the morning or in the evening, but if I know that I have to get this done, that I'm more likely to actually get the topics that I have planned done, or I'm more likely to at least get them started. I'm not sure about getting them done, but I started to wonder why, because it's not like going to the gym or training is taking away any topics off my list. In fact, it's probably doing the opposite. It's adding an additional topic on my list. I guess I was curious, hence my now reflection, why going to the gym or why having that scheduled and having that in my routine helps me to avoid procrastination and get on with the topics that I have to get done in my life. And I put it down to one simple answer why it helps. When I train, I immediately feel a sense of fulfillment. And then I started to think more deeply about that word, fulfillment. So I don't think everybody out there needs to necessarily go to the gym. I don't think everyone else needs to go out there and train. However, I do feel like it is important that no matter who you are, no matter what you're doing, that you value what makes you feel fulfilled. It got me thinking about my life, and I'm originally Australian, and I moved to Germany because I just really wanted a fresh start, to be quite honest. There was no deep reason behind it. However, what I really realized was as I moved from Australia. Oh God, that's a lie actually. No, to be fair, I actually moved to Germany because I not just wanted a fresh start, but I was also chasing love, as you do. So there was a deep reason behind it, but that's not the point of this story. The point of this story is more from a professional standpoint. There wasn't a deep reason in that I had a good job here in Australia, and I wanted to move to Germany because I was chasing love, essentially, and I was seeing someone who meant a lot to me, and therefore work was not something, or was not the core reason why I moved from Australia to Germany. It meant that I basically wanted to take whatever job I could get in Germany, and somehow I was very lucky and very blessed to get a job which was actually a career advancement. So it meant that I went from just being an individual contributor to being a team lead and looking after a small team of 4 people. And it was a big transition for me. I felt very, very lucky. I felt very blessed. I felt very happy. But those feelings quickly disappeared when I went into work on my first day and realized that I have no clue, no idea how to lead people. Which I think I wouldn't be the first person to get a team who's been in that position before. So I remember turning up on my first day in Germany and meeting my team for the first time, and all three of them wanted to get to know me, and then they started talking about their topics. Not only did I not know anything or very little about their topics, as it was all very new, but I also started to realize that I felt overwhelmed because I had no idea how to help and to lead these guys to be able to even achieve a common goal. So it was really difficult in the beginning. And then I have to admit, I went home, and I'm a Christian, so don't get me wrong, it's not about now telling you to become Christian or anything like that, but it's just that I am Christian, and therefore a lot of the things that I have learned in my life come from my background in faith. And one of the things that I did when I got home that first day was I thought to myself, well, I have no idea about leading a team. I've learned a lot from going to church and my faith and etc. And I know that there is one lesson that I learned, which is if you want to lead, then start by identifying the people who you want to lead and start by serving them. And so I said to myself, well, I have no idea about what they're doing today. I will learn about what they're doing. I will spend some time with them, invest that time with them, but I will invest that time for the purpose of serving them. So I will invest that time getting to know them, helping them, understanding what their goals are from a professional standpoint, understanding what their individual goals are, but also understanding how they are meant to contribute to the overall goals of the company. This took some time, I have to admit, so it took about 6 months to really get an understanding. But then one of the most amazing things happened to me was I was able to very, very quickly map out what I needed to do to help them, to serve them essentially, to help them to be able to get to where they needed to get to as a contributor to the company in terms of their own goals and also in terms of their own fulfillment. And I dedicated myself towards that. And I still remember the first time that I had a team offsite with my team. It happened after around 6 months. I remember that I sat down there and I shared my thoughts with the team about how we could reallocate some topics to help them and further them in their journey, how I could support them, how I identified other people in the organization who could support them with topics that I wasn't necessarily great at. And the end result was my entire team started to, no joke, cry. And I know that sounds really weird now because it sounds like I upset them, but it was the complete opposite. They were in emotional tears. I still remember standing there and watching them because they said to me that nobody else had taken the time to care or understand about what they are doing, what they need. I mean, it's not exactly a great situation, and this probably shouldn't be the norm, but nevertheless, I was able to win them over to a certain degree. But that wasn't the best part about this whole story. That was an awesome part about the story, and that is definitely something that every leader should be focused on. But I think the best part about that story was the level of fulfillment, their happiness, the level of fulfillment, serving them and helping them gave me. It ended up being the number one thing that I have taken into my various leadership roles. I've had now several leadership roles after this one leadership role, and I've actually made more or less a career out of this. And when people ask me what I do personally to be able to lead, it is as simple as identifying the people who I'm meant to lead and serving them. That is the formula that I have used each and every time. And I am very, very lucky. I am very, very blessed because it helps me and it makes me feel this sense of fulfillment, this sense of purpose, this sense of just good vibes, good energy, which takes me and brings me to a point where I don't get to that point where I feel that I need to procrastinate, or I don't feel like I need to, sit down and do nothing. I feel this energy that I need to get out there and I need to help and I need to do something. It's funny because if I look back at the teams that I have led, and if I look back at, what I have, what were my goals, what were my visions, my goals and visions was always centered around the people in my team. And it was always centered based off their contributions to the organization. It almost makes me feel like at some point in time, you forget all the corporate jargon. I hate all these kind of, I do this because I want to increase the profitability of the company, or I want to increase the productivity of the company. I mean, these things might be a side effect of what you do when you're leading a team. You may gain a better output from your team. You might gain efficiencies in your team. However, what you have to remember is if you simply strive for those elements, I don't know how fulfilling that was going to feel to you. And therefore, at a certain point, you might feel that you burn out. You might feel that it becomes overwhelming, and back to my original point, you might feel so overwhelmed that you go into a sense of paralysis and you end up procrastinating. So I use training in my life, and I use helping others in my life. I think it's really important that no matter what you're doing, you need to find something that makes you feel fulfilled, genuinely fulfilled. And I'm not saying that what makes me feel fulfilled is going to make you feel fulfilled. I think you need to discover that for yourself. And if you're struggling, and if you are feeling sometimes overwhelmed with life, and I think that is perfectly normal. The older I get, the more comfortable I get with the idea that life can be very overwhelming, and I don't think, unfortunately, I haven't really had a situation where life got less overwhelming. It's as I get older, just you have more and more topics that come on your plate. The one formula that I use, and I'm always happy if it helps you to use the same, is to sit down and to really think about what makes you feel fulfilled. If you feel lost, if you feel like you need some direction, maybe think about what is it that gives you that natural burst of energy. We might be training here at the gym. It might be going to work and helping the people that you're working with. It might be doing charitable work. It might be just hanging out with friends and making time to spend time with friends and family. Whatever it may be, I think it's super important that in the moments that you're feeling overwhelmed, stop, spend some time, reflect what makes you feel truly fulfilled. Anyway, this has already gone a little bit longer than I expected. I hope this helps you. That's the whole intention behind these videos, is to share my thoughts. And if you feel like this is something that has helped you, or if you feel that it hasn't, which is perfectly fine. I think if it hasn't, then you're better off maybe scrolling along, I guess. But if you feel that it has, then maybe you want to drop a comment for anybody else who's watching it. I feel like we can build a community and we can share our thoughts to make everything just a little bit easier. Anyway, this is Luke from After the Final Set. I hope this hits home. Ciao.